it is time to make the sound to summon the stream. It also helps if I actually turn on the monitor capture. Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Coil Quickcard, and there we go. Just get rid of that. I'm Coil Quickcard, and welcome back to the Community RPG Maker Project. A year ago, in August of 2024, I started work on this project, where the idea was to build something in RPG Maker using suggestions and input from viewers, from comments, from anybody who managed to communicate with me in any meaningful way. It started by literally just drawing a street and adding a few buildings on it. And it's actually something that I was really interested in doing from the time that I started this channel. Even the channel intro video was something that I made in RPG Maker. And since then, the project has grown. It has gained complexity. It has continued to push my skills with RPG Maker as well. And to be fair, I've been using various versions of RPG Maker for 20 years, just as a habit. This project has pushed those skills to absolute heights that I never expected them realistically to reach. I have been able to build such such incredible, wonderful stuff over the past year, and I've been able to produce a game that goes into such weird places, and I've been able to stretch myself by trying to integrate a lot of the more outlandish ideas while still trying to create something that is, cohesive. I've gotten working with plugins. Not for this project. This project I've tried to be light on plugins. Literally the only one that I've used is just causes weather effects to display in battle, but it got me into working in plugins on my other RPG Maker projects. I have learned so much more about the ways I can twist this system to make it do things that I never really thought were possible. And I've learned better ways to do things that I knew were possible but difficult. And now here we are, more than a year later, and we are nearing the end of designing the second major act of the game. The whole first act of the game can weather affect battle. Weather affect battle very easily. All you have to do is just have any kind of a conditional check in battle. So you would have a switch which would relate to weather being on. Like, I could have a switch and it would be rain on, and then once every turn, like at the end of every turn, I could have it like have some kind of effect or something. I also believe a couple weeks ago, someone actually commented to me that damage formulas can actually run conditional checks in them, which I have not explicitly confirmed, but at least nothing crashes when they use this. Like, this ability, in theory, is more powerful if the enemy is affected with a specific state. So I would assume that you can probably create a switch conditional inside of a damage formula. So if that is the case, then you could definitely make anything that worked similar to the way that weather works in Pokemon. But I do not know at this time what the actual syntax with that would be. Made a Mega Sarina. Want to hear about it? Yeah, you can go ahead and write it. Anyway, I am still sick. This stream was supposed to be on Sunday. Sunday I was quite ill. I'm still fairly ill today, but today my symptoms are lesser enough that I can actually go ahead with this. They're low enough that I haven't taken any Sudafed yet today, so on top of feeling a little better, I am also less drugged, which is a pretty good thing while trying to explain this project. The entire first act of the game took place on this continent here, eventually ending with the tundra. The entire second act of the game has basically been focused on this city and the stuff around it, and especially the stuff underneath it. The third act of the game is going to be over here on this sort of jungle marshland archipelago. So that's going to be pretty fun. I'll have to figure out transportation. But yeah, over the last year, a lot of people have contributed to the project. A lot of people have really helped come up with great ideas. And I am deeply grateful for everyone who's been there for this. It's been so much fun. It's a grass fighting type of contrary as its ability, and 72 HP, 170 attack, 98 defense, 10 special attack, 98 special defense, 162 speed. Interesting. What do you have in its moveset that contrary is taking advantage of? I know there's probably at least something specific, but even when I'm feeling less sick, my brain's still not great. Superpower. Okay, superpower makes sense. And close combat. That works. I like that. I do love contrary Pokemon. So, anyway, what are we doing today? Well, the first thing I want to do today is I want to finish the actual final boss fight at the end of the act. I've got all of the parts of the boss and all of its phases completely figured out. They're all just basically set to 1 HP right now, just because I'm running through and testing stuff over and over and over and over. I've got the Hydra's Lair. I've got most of the events, set up. So, let's actually show what I have shown. This is all going to be stuff that you haven't seen. This is all stuff that I designed on my own time in between streams. And I am really, really proud. Oh my freaking god. Cole! Cole, I didn't even have the right monitor display set. God damn it. I've been talking for 10 minutes without showing... God damn it. Well, so much for all the stuff I thought I was pointing at. This is the sort of stuff that happens when you try to stream while you're sick. I had my OBS set to display my second monitor instead of my primary. God damn it. Ugh. Anyway, whole first part of the game took place on this continent. The whole second act of the game has taken place on this archipelago. We've designed a whole bunch of interesting stuff through here. We just started out with a road and a few buildings. The maps and the designs have steadily increased in complexity. The events and the systems have consistently increased in complexity. The mechanics have consistently increased in complexity as I have gone through this project, as I have, focused on different things, trying to push my own abilities further. God damn it. I did like 10 whole minutes of stuff there. Ugh. Alright, whatever. Let's actually show the stuff I've been working on. Actually, one more thing. Because this was kind of important. Fade out the BGS. There we go. Alright, so let's show what I've been working on since the last stream. So, as we know, we are in the Hydra's lair. And we are working our way to the Hydra. We have added an out-of-place merchant who sells Crystal Pepsi and who specifically tells you, get Crystal Pepsi. So, it won't help, but at least I can rest easy knowing that I told the players to do that. So, first you go through this area. If you touch the blue parts, it actually poisons the whole party. And then, if you walk around with poison too much, the party does take damage. And you can run into the tortured soul enemies that I designed here. I'm not going to because I'm holding down my debug button, which, also just lets me run on walk through walls. But, yeah, you can run into tortured souls here, and then you'll also be able to run into withering heads, which are basically like heads of the Hydra. They really don't do anything other than attack. It's really just more supposed to be kind of atmospheric, like, signaling that, oh, this is a thing and we're getting closer to it. Also made Mega Venomoth with Filter, 70 HP, 50 attack, 140 defense, 150 special defense, 160 Still Bug Poison. That's a cool one. So, I am genuinely amazed at how good this music track was for the mood I wanted here. But anyway, here is what happens. Now we are in the final part of the Hydra's lair. So there is a save crystal. Don't mind this. This is for bug testing. But we walk in here and Oh. Okay, that should not be able to be walked through. So here is the head of flame. So, if you kill the head, basically you have to hit it with an ice move and then kill it. If you kill it without having hit it with an ice move, then it will spawn 2 more heads. It will spawn 2 heads of frost. Just because I'm kind of like showing stuff off right now, I am going to make sure that I kill it with ice. Just from the way it works, it doesn't like specifically, it doesn't have to specifically be killed with ice, it just has to have been hit by something with ice in the last turn, which would be a lot easier if it would stop stunning my frost dragon. Please stop that. Okay, well, an unlucky crit killed it, so the head divides into 2. So now there's 2 heads of frost. And unfortunately, both of them are now able to stun my character. Now, the second set of heads do... Oh my god, again on Ryu. The second set of heads do not split again. But basically, this is a pair of... this is just a pair of battles just to introduce the heads to the player, so that they are aware of it. Alright, so we're gonna drop our regular save here. We're going to have to fix this. That is not supposed to be through. That is not supposed to be through. But we do need its self-switch form to have through on. It does. Okay. Fun fact, even without filter, it can tank max special attack investment, modest Mega Alakazam Psychic without special defense investments. Impressive. Alright. So here is the Head of Frost. So this time, same basic idea. You have to kill it. You have to have hit it with fire the turn it dies, otherwise it splits into 2 heads of flame. And that is a bug. Ryu should not be able to be affected by the dragon ship buff, so I'll have to fix that. Luckily, Thatcher actually has Firebolt, so this one is a bit easier. The heads themselves are moderately, but not overly dangerous. And we're going to go with the Double Claw, and since we're in Fire Dragon form, they're going to deal fire damage. And it didn't detect it as being beaten by fire. So that is another glitch I'll have to fix. You know what? I don't give a damn. Just kill the damn thing. Okay. So, a couple glitches there. That's fine. Okay, so a couple things here. Double Claw has counter physical. Double Claw, counter physical. Blue Dragon, ice. So here is where I made my mistake. I did not include the proper counter triggers on the other double claws. So double claw fire. And double claw dark. Double claw dark. I don't actually have a counter dark yet. So we're going to have to add that real quick. There we go. Counter dark. Attacks twice in a row. Deals dark damage. Yellow Dragon isn't used yet. Deals fire damage. Just to clarify the tool tips. Deals ice damage. And deals physical damage. And lastly, Dark Dragon. Yes, he specifically does not resist Dragon Guard Red. For some reason, I had not fully grasped. So these all resist. Green Dragon is okay, like none of my dragons are resisting Dragon Guard Red. None of them are supposed to be able to be affected by any of the Dragon Guard buffs. And then Yellow Dragon, there we go. Okay, that's fixed. Have an enemy idea. 3 small enemies in trench coats. If it's hit with fire in any capacity, it'll turn into the 3 random enemies that make the trench coat guy up. That's a pretty good idea. Alright. So with that done, now let's go into the actual scenes. The actual, like, cutscenes related to this massive boss fight. So, behold our enemy. Behold the only giant enemy sprite I had access to that might reasonably be considered to maybe be a false Hydra. This must be the false Hydra! What a hideous creature. It'll look better after we cut it to pieces. For Wallachia! Okay. So then we go into Hydra Fight 1. We have a main body and we have 2 withering heads. Let's actually turn that down a bit. The withering heads are less dangerous than the heads of Frost and Fire. Hello, noob! We're showing off the False Hydra boss fights and cutscenes. Well, mostly the cutscenes. Because I wasn't really able to come up with anything artsy for the False Hydras, I don't know if it'll stay like this permanently, but for now I'm just using slightly distorted versions of Dead Hand models from Ocarina of Time, which is fine since that's what the original False Hydra was using as visuals anyway. So the Withering Heads are really not dangerous. Here in False Hydra 1, it alternates between the tangible and the intangible state. Relies on a lot of increasing debuffs. So it's just going to die in one hit anyway. Since for testing purposes, I just have its HP set to 1. The Withering Heads, literally all they do is just auto-attack. They are not especially dangerous. And they don't have particularly good defenses either. They're just basically there to provide a little bit of extra pressure, but mostly to sort of sell the whole idea of a Hydra having a lot of heads. The whole concept of the False Hydra, I always thought was weird, like weirdly named. Because there's really nothing about what a False Hydra does that requires or takes advantage of the fact that a Hydra has a lot of heads. So the name's always been a little off, but I figure I have to do something that's vaguely Hydra-like, so hence the heads. So that is Hydra Fight 1. How is it still standing? Then the Hydra blasts you away. Urgh, you damned God's forsaken monster. I won't be beaten so easily. Graw. Why won't you die? Gah! Step back, it's my turn now. So, Mr. Bones is coming to save the day. Mr. Bones! It is time for the dead to do their duty. To protect the people of this land. Forward, honored dead. Rid us of this vile horror. So, Mr. Bones comes in with his zombie army. By all that I have left to give, by all the power of every generation that has come before, and in the name of your countless victims, you shall never haunt this place again. So here we go, False Hydra fight number 2. Use Mr. Bones to command the swarm of zombies to overwhelm the False Hydra. In this battle, your health represents the number of zombies you are controlling. So, it's all pretty simple. You call zombies, you attack with zombies, you protect with zombies. It runs on a very simple pattern. But, again, its attack is currently set equal to 1. So, zombie attack and the attack command both do the exact same thing in this fight. So, the zombie swarm attacks. And that's the end of Hydra 2. So, moving on with the cutscene. Yes, the beast is weakening. It's devouring the undead. It's getting stronger. Well, what is this power? And then we go to the next part. So, apparently it's strong enough, it's starting to warp reality. That's probably not good. No, 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 no. I will not falter again. Die, you son of a bitch. Die! Mr. Bones is sick of this thing, so he's going to drop some meteors on them. Is it working? And it just conjures up more heads. Impossible! Brace yourselves! So everybody gets pinned. Damn it. What do we do? But then, the soldiers of Wallachia come in! Cut down the heads. Make safe our heroes. You are not alone. No, you fools! I didn't want you here. I was trying to keep you safe. Flee while you can. You said it yourself. In Wallachia, the dead protect the living, and the living honor the dead. We all stand together. Strike is one! We'll keep the heads occupied. The rest of you tear its body to pieces. So everybody moves into position. This is the last big heal I've got left in me. Let's make it count. Gods of Light and Life, Strand of Strength. Let's finish this, and gladly Thatcher gets her scary face. The heads are regenerating. So all the soldiers move back into engage the heads. We'll have Bones move over here to help the priestess. And we move into Hydra 3. So this is the one that afflicts the whole party with a poison, and then absorbs that poison to heal itself, and then damages itself to deal damage to the whole party. So the trick is to just make sure that it's damaging itself more than it's healing itself. And again, 1 HP for the sake of testing. And a couple of Withering Heads, again, mostly just here for flavor. They're not a major contributor to this fight, and, I mean, they could easily be taken out by a single bottle cap rain, and, you know, Ryu's breath attacks will take them out too. That is as far as I have actually designed the cutscene. After this, there is one more. Basically, after this, the Hydra's body is now broken up into heads. And then there's one last fight where you just get rid of the last heads, and then that's it. And it loops because I haven't finished designing it yet. So that is where we are at. As far as this battle. So, all in all, I think we are doing pretty damn good. We do need to make sure that this does not try to auto-run more than once, so we can do that with the self-switch. That's easy enough. Let's see. So this is where everybody moves at once. So the issue is that Elena's speed needs to be a bit higher to line up with the false Hydra trying to move to get her. And then I also want Mr. Bones. Let's see. If the soldiers are standing here and here, we can have both of the soldiers move down. So replace the turn down with move down. Replace the turn down with move down. And we will have one part where Mr. Bones, who is currently standing here, will go to left and turn up in order to sort of reinforce the priestess. And then that goes into False Hydra 3. Um, okay. And I was originally going to have a fifth phase with even more heads, but we're just going to end it um, with the battle against the heads, so that should be fine. Um, and I do want to add a Withering Heads encounter to the sections of the Hydra lair before you reach the boss. And let's make them slightly more common than the Tortured Souls, but with a pretty low encounter rate. Like, you're not just constantly getting swarmed by enemies. Can you make it lose the heads when it gets low and gets HP, it gains heads? I really... Not in a way that isn't going to take me, like, another full week and probably, like, realistically 6 to 10 hours of dedicated effort to do. It's within the realm of possibility for the engine, but I have spent so many months on this part of the game already. To be completely honest, I'm interested in moving on, getting to new areas and getting to introduce new ideas from people into the project. Cole, since the idea of the crocodile people for the jungle really wasn't going to be viable, and I didn't really have anything that would work to create them, I went ahead and did something different. I created a series of what I'm calling bat folk. So I guess it's going to be bats and cats. And honestly, that kind of works if only because, well, they rhyme. So we can have fun with that. I haven't designed the cat NPCs yet, but I mean, I've got some variety for the bat folk. Yeah, it is unfortunate. There simply wasn't any way I could produce crocodile people using what I have for the character generator at this point. And producing custom sprites would be a whole bunch of extra work as well. You know what's going on in Nepal? Not really. I don't think bats would fit for, like, a physical tribe. I mean, I've never really needed a reason that they had to be physical. I mean, we could have the cat folk. I mean, I guess we're going for kind of um, like an opposite cultures type of thing for the jungle. Having the cats be more of like chaotic, physical, and then having the bats be like more, magical, more orderly, less physical. I think that still works. I think it's actually a pretty good system. Um, so after you beat the Hydra, We flash the screen, and we're gonna go with a full white for like 10 frames. Nah, let's just go for like 3 frames. During those 3 frames, we are going to move the locations of the heads. Rather than bats, do dogs. I have already made the thing, and dog is not exactly all that easier either. I only have so many parts to work with. And if I can't do stuff with those parts, then trying to force it is just going to be awkward. Okay, that's fine. The false Hydra itself is also going to change its image to which one? It's FF Monster, this turning up. Okay. And then basically every single character should be facing up. So, Sergeant, Officer 1, Officer 2, Priestess, Soldier, Soldier. Will at least be reference to the Crocs, like before us crocodilians used to live here, but they angered the root beer gods and got wiped out. I hadn't planned on anything like that, but seems harmless enough to reference. Okay, so there's a flash. While there's a flash, basically all of these things are going to happen, so that when we see it, let's see. How do I want to do this? It works better if I can give the Hydra kind of like a death rattle. So it cries out. Then there's a screen flash. So we should have everyone facing up to start. Turn the heads transparent after the fight, but before the screen flash. And then after the screen flash, okay. do that. In Nepal, massive protests just took place against the government. We won, but also lost around 25 to 30 people, and most were around the age of 14 to 28. Oh, wow. That is pretty serious. I hope that they everybody stays as safe as they can. And what else do we have here? More I'm working on the trench coat guy, the goofier he becomes, the more I love him. Hello, Nut. I watch follow RPG game tutorial and draw style to make fan-made games for my favorite fictions. I can't see, but there's a lot of codes. Nut, welcome very much to this project. It's a hell of a thing. I've been making this game for over a year. While integrating community suggestions. And alright, let's see if the scene works out properly. So this lets me skip straight to the second part of the cutscene for the testing. I do enjoy my tea. Here, a like make for support for your hobby. Thank you. And thank you, Cole. I'll look at that in a little bit here. Okay, that looks good. The Elena issue is resolved. The character movement is nice and clean. Okay, and it's frozen because the soldiers are trying to move down. Okay. So the heads are regenerating. The captain... So the captain needs to move left, but not turn down, because she's not actually trying to turn down. Officer 1, who's the one that moved and only moved left, also only needs to move right, I think. Yeah, Officer 1 moves left. So, Officer 1... Is that fine? Does that work? Yeah. They're in position. Everybody is healed. Okay. Everybody is in the right position. That is perfect. And then that leads to Hydra 3. So far, everything is going well. Okay. Okay. I think I gave them all a move up instead of a turn up command. But I have to be honest, it actually looks kind of clean to have everybody move up. And the fact I can move means that nothing got locked. So even though I did that by accident, seems to be good. The transition was not at all what I was hoping for. So all the transparents need to happen immediately, but without any weight. We want to just get out of that fight, and then they should not be visible anymore. I know one of my favorite games is made in RPG Maker V, and that is Fear and Hunger. Like, because of limb cut mechanics and story art style, painting like coin flick system, and is inspired by Berserk. Berserk, my favorite manga. Good taste. So, 5 frames, way too short a time. Let's bump this up to like 15 frames. 1/4 of a second. Oh! Well, there's the problem. It's been waiting. And disable some wait commands here. Disable some wait commands there. Put a wait command there, which is the next sort of solid moment. Okay. So we can have Mr. Bones move up as well. Wait on him. Then we have the monster's death cry. And then the screen flash and the heads. Okay. So you don't actually get a full party heal going into this fight. Okay. All of this can just go here since this is just the standard. This is the standard battle music reset command. An RPG Maker instant. I want to make a project fan remaster first Megami Tensei from Nintendo Famicom. Ooh, that is a very good goal. I wish you luck on that. I have not played any of the Megami Tensei games. Okay. That's fine. This is also part of the Hydra reset, so we can move that there. So, if I'm right, everything should be in the correct position here now. So now we just need some text before we go into the fourth and final phase of the Hydra encounter. DF actor? What the hell are DF actor? I swear to God this was not here a minute ago. Was it? I swear that this face set was not there. I just... Okay, whatever. Oh yeah, there's the Ryu flipping you off. I was so proud of that. I guess I used it for the dragon base. If that has been there the whole time, you know, maybe it's just because I don't flip through, like, the face actors a lot. That's probably all it is. Whenever I'm in faces, I know exactly where I'm going. I'm sure it's been there the whole time. I'm just not paying attention. Alright, but that's not what matters. Just focus on the dialogue. So we have Mr. Bones. Now we have to destroy each piece before it can heal itself again. Start that with a bubble. We don't need a lot of dialogue here. But that's where we put the fourth and final Hydra phase. Megami Tensei is like how Christian parents seen Pokemon in the 90s. Yeah, I remember those days. False Hydra 4. Okay. So that's done. So the fanfare. I got my resets mixed up somewhere along the line. I don't know exactly where I got my resets mixed up. There we go. That's my proper resets. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Put that here. Okay. So we're going to need yet another Hydra's lair. But this one... This is just going to be the version of the Hydra lair that you can go back into after the Hydra is defeated, and will serve as the intro for the Coda, which means that we do not need this there. That's fine. So we'll add a check. So if the Hydra is defeated, then it will just take you to Hydra Layer 6. And we add switches to everything so that they will all disappear. After you beat the Hydra. Well, maybe I'm the trench coat guy, the collar and mustache might blend a little together, but I assure you they're different. I'm a Megami Tensei fan. I like the whole series, even spin-off series like Persona, Devil Summoner, Digital Devil Saga. But mostly I prefer mainline ones in Devil Summoner, and I like Kazuma Kaneko art style, especially Megami Tensei games from PS2. Shin Megami Tensei is definitely on the list of things I want to get around to trying out someday on this channel. Okay. Let's check this again. And while it is working through this, Cole, I'm going to check what you sent me. Okay, this is all good. Oh, that's a great sprite, Cole. I love that. Okay, so Hydra 3. Very good. Red Dragon, go for Fire Breath. That's one down. I get into these Minigami Tensei because I've seen those demon designs, and I think those are like Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters in the mechanics turn-based system. I want to get into dungeon crawlers. Alright, everyone be on alert for any issues in the upcoming cutscene. Okay, bug notes. Increase Mr. Bone's speed. And so we have the final battle, the last phase of the Hydra. There's a head of flame, a head of frost. Both of them can split into two. And you do not ever want to be dealing with more than 3 heads like this at a time. The fact that they can stun makes it so hard. And 2 withering heads, which are just there for fun. So, first thing... Oh god, Double Claw strikes at random. Oh no. Okay. That's actually something I need to change. Change Double Claw to 2 activations instead of 2 random targets. Okay. Let's focus, let's focus. This is the full difficulty version of this fight. Will Conversion Strike work on these things? It does. Okay. Let's go with the Fire Breath. Quill, don't we love Joel? Yes, we do. Damn it, Thatcher. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. We are focusing on the head of flame, or the head of frost first. Let's do another fire breath, hopefully take out the withered heads. Ugh, damn the head of frost. Right! Damn it! I hadn't actually hit it with any fire since it last acted. Oh, damn it. Okay. Okay, that's actually super bad for me. Okay, we need less damage on the board. Oh my god, you're still alive. Alright, screw it. Bottle caps. Oh, damn it, but I didn't defeat it with ice. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, also the Withering Heads are immortal. The Withering Heads should not be immortal. There is no way that they are not below... There's no way that they're not below, crap. There's no way that they're not below, 0 HP yet. Holy crap. Holy crap. You know what? This is okay, though. This is quite literally worst-case scenario for this fight. If I can survive worst-case scenario, then I know that the fight is completely well-balanced. No! Damn it! We need Ryu! Fine, we'll waste more bottle caps. Okay, that's less damage on the board. Defeat the head. Okay, good. Unfortunately, I am now locked because these heads are technically immortal. They're not supposed to be immortal, but they are. Change enemy state, entire troop, immortal. And then we are going to change the state by removing immortal. From the withering head. So that they actually die properly. Okay, but we still have to test it again. Because the entire point of this is to make sure that all the characters are standing in the right positions. So that I can copy those positions to make a cutscene here in part 6. So, one thing I want to do is have Mr. Bones at this point adjust his speed to normal. And then we wanted to change the way that Double Claw works altogether. So we're actually going to change them to be one enemy, one enemy, one enemy, one enemy, one enemy, and then we just increase the repeat on each one. So that this way I am targeting a single enemy and then getting 2 attacks off on that specific enemy. Alright, back into the testing again. Yeah. Okay, good. Everybody gets pushed. The soldiers come in. We speed through the dialogue. Everybody gets into position. We have our fight. And we bottle cap ring it. Okay. And this time I will actually do this properly. Which is a lot easier if they don't do the goddamn studs. But that's okay, because this time the withering heads are going to drop immediately. Almost immediately. Right, I didn't defeat them with ice or fire. Damn it! Why do I keep forgetting? I specifically built this fight to ruin you if you use the bottle cap raid spam. Oh, God, no. Okay. Okay, so that's not working. Also, the other withering head didn't die. So, because I didn't turn it to withering head 8. Damn it! Why was I competent when I designed this fight? To be fair, it actually is a pretty cool feeling when you outwit yourself. I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid. My favorite monster card was Karibo. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh when I was young. And I'm really not into Yu-Gi-Oh now, but I've also followed the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series religiously for several years now. So I am at least aware of the stuff, but I only have the vaguest sense of how the card game even works. Okay, let's try this again. Before socializing on the internet, I didn't even know a person who played Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, I was in school when it was a new thing, so, you know, I got to be around your middle schoolers and high schoolers when nobody really knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, but everybody kind of had a general gist of it. So it was less about playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And more about finding people who thought you played Yu-Gi-Oh! The way that you think you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Which was a really funny time. Okay, finally! Let's do this properly. Without using bottle cap rain. We're going to start with a growth shot so that everybody is regenerating. Okay, Red Dragon, good. Double Claw on Head of Frost. You missed. God damn it, Ryu. Okay, it's alright. Just keep focus. That did not do much. Oh my god, these things are so annoying. I'm actually really proud of what I've created. Yes! Okay! See, that's how it works. If you defeat them with the opposite element, they do not split. That is exactly what I was hoping for. And that means it's time for my overpowered ability. It's time for a goddamn ice storm. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, Thatcher, you beautiful woman. Kick his ass. Okay. Nobody attack that thing. Ryu, Dragon Shift Blue. Good. 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 Ryu, Double Claw Ice. And that is the way you defeat the False Hydra. Okay. So I actually want to take a screenshot of that. Because I want to replicate these positions. And then teleport the party the hell out of here. But There we go. And I'm just going to fling that over to my other monitor. Okay. So you beat the Hydra. At that point, we transfer to Hydra's Lair 6. Okay. So now in Hydra Lair 6, first off, these two need to be reversed. Next, we're just going to make a bunch of people titled NPC. And this one is this guy. And this one is this one. And this one is the same. And this one is the basic soldier, which is MV People 3. And then this one is the captain, who's also back in my Wallachia NPCs. And then this one is the priestess, who I think is in MV People 4. And then finally, Mr. Bones. Okay, is this all coordinated? Yes. And I want this room specifically to not have anything in it. And it will have the name Hydra's Fall. Actually, you know what? Just stick with the question marks. I did use 3, right? Yes. Okay. Good. Now that is set up. About to Vincent Van Gogh all over this project. But I like my ears. I think they're nicely attached where they are currently. Okay. So, obviously, I'm going to have to, like, design some kind of a scene where, like, you get out of here. There'll be... some kind of a coda, probably just here in like the areas of Wallachia, where I'll have to design another batch of NPCs. We'll just make it its own custom map when I do that, but basically we are set. Okay. As far as the actual gameplay stuff, Act 2 is now complete. You defeat the false Hydra. And we fade out the BGM. And we'll have a little bit of talking. Everyone's just kind of in quiet awe. Is it over? It doesn't look like what's left is moving. But just to be safe, and we need a whole bunch. I think so. There's nothing left. And I don't sense... I don't sense anything left. It's over. That's fine. We need to turn on the switch. Let's leave this place. It reeks of evil and rot. And at that point, we fade out. We will transfer to, I don't freaking know, some version of Wallachia. And then we'll fade in. And that is when Elena will decide that she wants to go with you. Oh, right. We also need to find a can of Coke. Just like the Red Dragon at the end of Act 1 was found with a can of Coke, the Hydra is also going to have a can of Coke. The cans of Coke are the big, evil, scary things that are making all the bad things in the world happen. Okay. But if I'm going to do that, then it's probably best to put it on the next map, auto running with self switch so that it'll turn off. So like the Chaos Hearts and SPM, I don't know what SPM is. But yeah, there's plenty of things that have used the same basic idea. Super Paper Mario. I never played that. But probably. I think more like the Dark Gears in Digimon. Ugh. So we will have Thatcher will be like, what's that? And a nice balloon icon for the player, question mark, wait for completion. Looks like an old soda can. And at that point, we'll turn this Coke Can 2 switch on. And this disappears when you turn on the Coke Can 2 switch. So after... at the end of Act 1, in the snowfield... you find another ominous soda bottle. An old soda can. You found an ominous soda bottle. This foul artifact shouldn't be here. I could feel the malevolence radiating from it. So you find the ominous soda bottle. Old soda bottle. Malter will comment. We found one of these after we defeated the dragon outside of Chill. Could they be the cause of so much horror? Okay, and then we leave. And that's fine. And that's actually when we want to activate the switch for the Hydra defeated, not before. So back in Hydra 5, we don't want that switch on. We need transparencies. We have the fight. No, that's fine. We don't need the transparencies because we're just transferring to another map. Okay. Honestly, instead of a big thing, why don't we just have an extra scenes at Mr. Bones' house? Mr. Bones' house scene 3. My eyes are a bit sensitive today. So it's MV Town 2 2080. MV Town 2 2080. I hit cancel instead of okay. Mr. Bones' house. Quill, are you gonna sugarcoat it? Sugarcoat what exactly? I'm not sure I fully know what you mean. Oh god, I'm gonna have like I'm gonna have to go through and check like every NPC in Wallachia to make sure that they have dialogue that sort of fits. That sort of fits what's going on here. Okay, so self switch A, auto run, self switch A. He'll just play a bunch of stuff. Be careful out there. That's fine. Okay. So instead of Wallachia Main, we're traveling to Mr. Bones' house scene 3 here, facing up. And at this point, the player speed and frequency are going back to normal. Transparent is off, through is off. Player followers are set on. And to move left, down, right, and up. Okay. Um, what are you going to do now? We're just going to kind of make this a quick coda. I want to be able to move on to new stuff. What are you going to do now? Elena says she doesn't know. Malter. There's something real weird and real bad going on with these soda bottles. I need to get them over to the Pepsi headquarters. Figure out what's going on. Pepsi headquarters. So you will be crossing the sea to the west then. And Malter will say, like, guess so. I have a small ship moored. Not I have. I know of a small ship moored at a hidden inlet. I need to see the overworld again here. Okay. West of the city. Okay. Small inlet west of the city. You could take that and pass through the jungles. Take that and pass through the jungles. Not exactly an easy task with the Pepsi portation grid all out of whack. I don't know. Pepsi portation grid all messed up. You could take that and pass through the jungles to reach Pepsi land. Malta would be like, much obliged. You, Elena? A man could use A man could use an escort. And Elena will comment. She'll say, sounds like fun. I haven't been to the Jungle Island. I haven't been to Pepsi Land in years. Okay. We can never repay you for what you have done for us. And Malter will reply, oh, sure you can. I'll just have HQ send you a bill. Will Pepsi Man appear? Pepsi Man would make an interesting boss. And he'll be like, was that a joke? Malta will be like, maybe. And I'll be like, best of luck to you all. Okay. That should do it. That should be the end of Act 2. Now let's go test this so we can count the number of glitches I need to fix. Okay. Actually, let's do the entire event. False Hydra, hideous creature, look better after we cut it to pieces. For Valakia, Hydra 1. Okay. Not bad. Okay. And the Hydra 2 cutscene. Then Mr. Bones comes out. And that's Hydra 2. And Hydra 3 cutscene. Transfer to the second map. And then the city people come in to support us. And the party gets healed. Hydra 3. Quill, have you watched Futurama? Yes, I have. Futurama is one of my favorites. Ugh. I love how smart the writing is. Ugh. Symptoms are starting to take hold again. But I really want to get this done. Would you call Blender a clanker? In general, I don't think it's good to say slurs to the face of people who are strong enough and unstable enough to quite possibly snap your spine in half. Alright, so we have our big fight. We go with Double Claw and Head Across. Okay, that is an exquisitely good start. Thatcher... honestly, just hit Ice Storm. Good job, Thatcher. Just guard. We've basically got this on lockdown. Thatcher, Ice Storm. Okay, we've wasted all 4 casts of Ice Storm on the Withering Head. That's real great work, Thatcher. Ugh. Okay. Come to think of it, because of the way I have them set with immortal states, my god, these things not only hard counter Bottle Cap Rain, but they hard counter the storm spells, too. That fight is so good. Okay. Is it over? I think so. I don't see anything left. We won. It's over. What's that? Looks like an old soda bottle. You found an ominous soda bottle. This foul artifact shouldn't be here. I feel the malevolence radiating from it. We found one of these after we defeated the dragon outside of Chill. Could they be the cause of so much horror? Let's leave this place. It reeks of evil and rot. Mr. Bones' house. I need to adjust the tent. The screen tent. What are you going to do now? I don't know. There's something real weird and real bad going on with these soda bottles. I need to get them over to Pepsi headquarters and figure out what's going on. Not exactly an easy task with the Pepsi partition grid all messed up. Pepsi headquarters, so you'll be crossing the sea to the west then, guess so. Know of a small ship moored at a hidden inlet west of the city. You could take that and pass through the jungles to reach Pepsi Land, much obliged. New Elena, man could use an escort, sounds like fun. I haven't been to Pepsi Land in years. We can never repay you for what you've done for us. Oh, sure you can, I'll just have the HQ send you the bill. Was that a joke? Maybe. Best of luck to you all. Be careful out there. 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 Because you are also set on auto run, which you should not be. Okay. So, a couple things that needed to be fixed. First, this needs to be on stepping animation. So it actually moves. Change that. Soften up Malter's dialogue a little. We fade in. We tint the screen back to normal. That's important. Can you make the dual enemy ambushes actually random each time? Yeah, that's not too hard to do. Okay. Oh boy. So, Thatcher. Malter. Elena. And we will have the player moved here facing up. No player followers. Alright, we play the scene. We fade out. We change player followers to on. We transfer the player. Back out. Facing down. We fade in the screen. That should be it. Like, it draws 3 random enemies from a table, and those get spawned. I don't know. I basically just have to set a series of conditionals. So we just have to set a variable to something, and then run a conditional based on the variable. And then for each of the possible outcomes, we would have 3 enemies appear. Well, it would always be 3 enemies appear. But then based on the conditional rolls, we would transform them into different sorts of things. So, it's doable. Okay. I think we are done. And because we are done, it is now time to update the public release of the project. That is how we are going to finish our celebration for today by releasing the latest version of this. So first, we need the web version. And then we will create the Windows version. Okay. And now I just got to make a couple of zip files here. Okay. So we put all these into a file. That's Community RPG. And then all of this can go into a basic RAR folder. Sorry, just doing all of this on my second monitor here. I wanted to make sure that I got out this distribution of the game today. Okay. And now that that is done, we're going to go update my itch.io pages. And update the page. Act 2 finished. Update. Delete the 2 files currently available there. Upload the new ones. There we go. So this is going to be the one that's played in the browser. Okay, update. Act 2 of the project is now fully finished. You can play through the entire storyline of Wallachia and the False Hydra. Okay, this is nearly done uploading. That's right. Everything we've been working on for the last several months is going to be publicly available. We have not properly updated this for a long time. Okay, save. Come on, go ahead and load. I believe in you. Do. And there it is. Okay. And there is a link to it in chat. Act 2 of the Community RPG Maker project is now feature complete. I won't say it's completely done because there's still like a couple things I'm going to tweak a little bit here and there. But you can actually play through it. Mechanically, all of it is there. All of it is probably functional. And I think that is a great place to stop for today and to end my celebration of a year of this truly fantastic project and looking forward to continuing it more because there is definitely going to be more to this game. There is definitely going to be an Act 3. There will probably be an Act 4. I don't know beyond that how much more there will be, but there's still a lot of ideas, a lot of cool stuff involved in this project. I'm really excited to doing more of this, and thank you all so much for being a part of this. I will not be streaming next week at all. I'm actually going to be out of town on vacation next week. The first actual, like, proper vacation I've had in over 10 years. Not that I've been working continuously during the 10 years, but, like, my first chance to actually, like, get away from home and go somewhere else and do something meaningful. My first opportunity for that in over 10 years. So, yeah, no stream on the 14th. Actually, I'm not coming back till Monday, so no stream for this project on the 21st either. I will do an RPG Maker stream at some point on the week of the 21st. And then I'll go back to the regular starting on the 28th. And starting on the 28th, we're going to be officially working on the jungle. We're going to be working on Act 3 of the game. And we are also going to start designing a village, which we are going to use as credits and acknowledgement for all the people who have contributed ideas to this project and otherwise given support. We're going to have NPCs there for everybody who's okay with me giving them one. And we are also going to have a contest of some form. Somebody is going to get the chance to sort of take the lead in designing that town, which is going to be really, really fun. So I will give more information on that in the future. You can always check into the Discord. The Discord's basically going to be the best way to stay in any kind of contact with me from basically the 13th through like the 21st. I think that's it. And now, since I specifically didn't take any of my cold medicine this morning because I wanted to keep a clear head for this stream, I'm going to get going. I'm going to take my Sudafed, and I'm going to enjoy being on drugs again. So, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you all on the next one, and it is time to make the sound to summon the end of the stream. Wow, 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 wow.